And welcome to the Quikrete RFQ scope tutorial. My name is Jesse Grisham, the Director of External Truck Operations for Quikrete, and I'm thrilled to bring this RFQ project to you with the opportunity to get contracted rates in place for 2026, January through December. Those of you who've used Coupa CSO in the past, either through Summit Materials or Argos, let me be the first to say that this RFQ is going to be a little different just due to the sheer size of how much volume we're looking at here in this RFQ. Because we're looking at every operating company underneath the Quikrete umbrella, US Pipe, Contech, Argos, Quikrete, Pavestone, etc. We have to have a first round that is just looking at your scope. And when I say scope, I'm referring to the type of trucks that you have in your fleet, the number of trucks per origin, specialized equipment. Well, we'll take that information and make the bid templates for the rates unique to you. So we'll go over that today, and we're going to go ahead and walk you through how to get your password set up and how to navigate through CSO. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. The email that you received from CSO is going to look something similar to this with the subject line. Now, your email is going to be way more detailed with a timeline and information regarding the RFQ, special notes. But what you want to do is you want to hit the login with ticket. And when you do that, you're going to come over to the dashboard here that has your username auto-populated and your one-time ticket password. So you'll hit login, and then you'll create your password. And once the password has been created, you'll select next. You'll hit continue, and then you'll see your user information, and you'll put in your country of residence, and you'll confirm the privacy policy. Once you hit continue, you are now in the RFQ. Please notice that it says next planned action will start in 2 days. That is because I am starting this recording here on a Tuesday, and the RFQ is set to go live on Friday, September 26th. So what I'll do here is I'm going to go to the test company that I'm working with. I'm going to set it to the first round. So on Friday, next plan action, you'll see here, I'll say 4 tasks to fulfill and 1 unconfirmed agreement. So here's round 1. This is what you'll see again starting on Friday. You'll click into the event, and you'll see links that represent our TSA, our NDA, and an amendment, which I will get to shortly. So for us to make sure that y'all are recognizing our TSAs, I've made a requirement to make sure that we see that you've downloaded all of these. So if you could just make sure you click on the link, it'll show status download. And once you get through all the TSAs, we'll move on to the NDA. Now, regarding the TSAs, we have 4. We have 2 for Canada, 2 for US, both being hauler TSA and a broker TSA. If you are a hybrid hauler where you're a broker and an asset-based hauler, we require that you fill out both broker and carrier TSA. Regarding the Transportation Service Agreement Amendment, this is critical. One of the most important things I'm going to share in this video. Current haulers that are set up right now with Quikrete and have a TSA in place, we will accept that TSA to be uploaded into the RFQ. That being said, we need you to look at this transportation amendment because we are changing our fuel surcharge plan January 2026. So what we've been paying for fuel, dollar per mile across the market, on a weekly basis for Quikrete, that is now going to change into the new fuel surcharge agreement. So you'll need to acknowledge that, and then you'll also need to download our NDA. So once I have all those selected as downloaded, I will hit I confirm that I have read and agree to the terms and conditions and hit continue. So for the first round, you'll see we have 4 things unfulfilled. Before we get into the scope, let's look at signed NDA. So the NDA that you downloaded, we need to make sure we get that signed and uploaded. So I'll go to upload documents, go into the box, go to my downloads. I would print this off, sign it, scan it back in, save it to my computer, and then you upload it into the signed NDA folder. When you see the green check mark, we move on to the next. Here it says upload your TSA, new or existing. Obviously, for the new TSA or new haulers, you will download the TSAs that you saw previously and get that signed and uploaded into the RFQ. If you have any uh, redlining whatsoever, you can still upload, or it will allow you to also upload in the round 2 phase. Existing haulers, please upload your current TSA along with the amendment. So I'll go in here, upload documents, and I'll just upload a random TSA. Something critical here to make sure that we are in compliance. We are requesting that you upload your certificate of insurance. So we'll go ahead, I'll upload something random also for that. And I should have 3 check marks. Now we're ready to actually jump into the scope bidding phase. So I'll go to scope definition, I'll click on it, and I'll hit download form. And at the top right of my screen, I will see the document or the download pop up. Let's select open file. Please make sure y'all are hitting enable editing. I can't tell you how many times some haulers will forget to hit enable editing and they're not able to access or make any edits to the template. So hit enable editing. And the first tab here is a list of the instructions. I'm not going to read through these instructions. These are going to be for you to have during the RFQ, but I will discuss each of these phases throughout this tutorial. So you'll see that we have 4 tabs at the bottom. Instructions tab, I just went over. We'll look at the very next tab, your truck fleet. So this one's critical. We're looking at the your truck fleet. In row 8, you'll see all the different truck types that we have in this RFQ. 14 different truck types, going from boom truck, box truck, crane, double drop, drive-in, dump, flatbed, hot shot, liquid tanker, live bottom, low boy, pneumatic, single drop, and step deck. Column B, you will see the list of origins or provenances that are associated with Quikrete operating companies. So we basically, if you see any boxes in white, that allows you to put a truck capacity for that truck type for that origin. So right off the bat here, if I look at Alabama, and I know I have 5 drive-ins that I could offer to Quikrete operating companies day to day, I'll put 5 in under drive-in. Flatbed, I may have 10 flatbeds. Pneumatic trucks, I may have 8. So I made it this way for haulers that may only have a small fleet of trucks to one specific truck type. So if they wanted to put in, that they only had 3 dump trucks in Colorado, that's all they'd fill out in this tab, and then they move on to the next tab. So when they upload their scope, they're only going to see dump lanes in Colorado, dump lanes or dump mileage tables. For you larger haulers, you will definitely want to make sure you go in and fill out as much as possible so you can see all there is to be bid on. You'll also notice that we have comments from supplier about scope. That is more for if there's anything specific regarding that state that you're able to contribute to continue hauling for an operating company that you're currently hauling for, or something that we may not know about your company, such as if you may have a stage yard beside one of our plants in California, or you put, stage yard with 10 flatbed trailers by X plant. etc. So we're able to use this information by, you know, when we're looking at rates, we're also able to evaluate what all you have to offer with where your trucks are located. So again, for this exercise, I'm going to put in a bunch of random truck capacity numbers because I want our bid scope and for the next video to have different lanes, different truck types, so I can walk us through those processes. All right. You'll notice in this RFQ, there's going to be an exceptional amount of flatbed. Down here. It's not required to fill out every white cell. If you try to fill out a gray cell, you'll get an error. So only fill out the origins truck types that is specific to you. I will say this 2 or 3 more times in this video. This round is critical to make sure that you put in all the information correctly. It's going to be very difficult to go in and update your scope once we've started the bid rate process. So again, if I am a hauler who has 15 pneumatics in Maryland, the state of Maryland, day to day for Quikrete, I'm going to go to my column B, look at Maryland, go under pneumatic trucks, and I'm going to put 15 in. So we understand the gist of what we're trying to accomplish here for the fleet capacity. Also notice that when you're putting in these numbers in these cells, row 4 is updating the total truck capacity. So hypothetically, test company 2 I'm working with, I'm saying I have 424 total trucks right now. If I know that number is correct, I'm going to move on to the next tab, which is truck required specs. So we have here on this tab, the very top, the first thing I'll notice is a bunch of pink. That is because right now I have 0 number of specs listed or counted out, but I have my fleet number trucks up here. That is basically saying that my total fleet number for boom truck, I need to specify what kind of boom trucks they are. Is it a double axle truck? I have 5 of those. I have 3 with triple axles, and I have 5 with cranes, and I have 2 with flatbed. When it matches the number of trucks that we put into the fleet capacity, that pink will go away. So same thing here for box trucks. I have 25 that are double axle. I have 5 that are triple axle. Double drops, same thing. So we just want to make sure that we're going in and matching that number of the fleet capacity to our specs. So I'll go in here. And if you try to go over, you'll notice that the pink doesn't go away. So I said I had 25 dry vans, but I put here I had 20 trailers that are double axle, and I had 25 that are triple axle. That's not going to work. It needs to be 25 total. So I'll go through here and knock these out. All right, and once I have my specs filled out, we'll move over to the equipment. So before I move over to the equipment, you'll notice that I have a bunch of blank boxes. That's fine. We can allow for boxes to be blank, especially if we don't have any crane trucks listed. When it comes to truck types versus equipment, I have all the same trucks listed here under row 8, but we have to list if we have this type of equipment available or not. Just due to security, we have to put something in here available or not available listed for each type of equipment. This is going to be critical on how we evaluate you, not just on your rates, but seeing if you have the correct equipment available to handle certain origins for Quikrete. To kind of hurry through this process, I'm just going to hit available for all of these, but you'll need to be careful and take your time. Make sure you actually have this equipment, because once this round is over, again, it's going to be hard for us to go back in and reset the model to where you can go in and update your scope. So be honest what equipment you have. Some of this stuff could be equipment that you can acquire, right? But we want to make sure that it is noted that this type of equipment is going to be required for some of our plants. If you don't fill out all of these white cells, I can tell you that when you try to upload your bid template, it's going to come up with an error. So you want to make sure that you fill out every one of these white cells. When we get that done, I keep trying to fill in a gray and all that. When we get that done, we will save this bid template and we'll upload it into the RFQ. And again, I'm just hitting available to hurry through the process. So I want to make sure I have all those cells selected. I do. I've checked what's available or not. Also, you'll see that, you'll have binders listed as equipment. We only have that listed for flatbed, low boys, and step decks. So obviously we're not going to have that listed for, drive-ins, or have that listed for pneumatic. So once we have that done, I'm going to go through again. I said that I had 424 trucks. I listed the type of specs that are with those trucks. I will give you a heads up. Steel trailers, especially for Rinker, that is something they're critical at looking at. And then we have the specialized, or the different types of equipment. Once we have that done, we'll select save. I'll go back into my bid template, or we'll go back into my CSO dashboard, and I'm going to upload bid. And it says we're good. So now that that bid has been submitted, you'll be able to, you can still go in. If you have any updates you want to provide, you can go back in and download the bid form. When you download the bid form, it will be the bid form that you just uploaded, and you can make any adjustments during that first round phase. In the next video, we'll talk about round 2 and how to navigate the rate bid templates. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.